Hey there, my name is Kimi Kinsey, and if you are not yet familiar with me, this is a sort of debrief. I've had people ask about some pop ups that I had during my birthday bash. My birthday bash is based off of a training that I teach called the Digital Advent Calendar System. And basically, this event was a 7-day thing. My audience would come to my website, and every day there would be a new deal that would be revealed to them, just like a discount on one of my own products. And they'd be able to actually get information on the product that they were buying and click over and buy things at a nice discount. But there were a lot of pop ups involved, and I've had people absolutely gush about the pop ups and wanting to know more about all the pop ups that I created for the event, the strategy behind them, how I think they fared. And I think people are really just looking for some inspiration. So I'm going to be talking about what I used and all of the pop ups that were created to basically market the birthday bash and how I think they fared during the event. So let's get started. I am using a tool called ConvertBox. It is a really robust pop-up tool. There are definitely others out there similar to it. But out of all the ones that I've used, I honestly think it has some of the most amazing features that I personally am spoiled by now. For example, I love Elementor. Don't get me wrong, I use it frequently. But the pop ups that you get with Elementor, I don't feel like you have as much control over what they can do. Um, you certainly maybe have a little bit more control design wise, but it's more important, in my opinion, that you be able to control where things show up, where they don't show up, who sees them, who does not see them, and just basically a lot of back end stuff that we're going to cover when we go through this debrief. But ConvertBox is a little pricey, but it's a lifetime thing. You pay for it one time and then you get to use it a ridiculous amount. It's kind of crazy. I'm actually using it on several of my websites at this point, and I really honestly think it's the better tool out of the few that I have used so far for pop-ups. So let's talk about, I've actually got a section here called Birthday Bash. This is where all of the pop-ups live that were involved in the bash. I've turned a couple of them back on so that you can actually see them in action on the pages. Otherwise, they're all turned off because the birthday bash is over. I am going to talk about each one and why they were created and what it was about, and kind of help you get a sort of, hopefully, an overall picture of what took place and why things were made the way they were made. So starting off here at the bottom, we've got one that says Hexagon Bucks Sale. And what happened before my birthday bash is I ran a credit sale, and I call mine Hexagon Bucks. And basically, it was an opportunity for my audience to sort of invest in the future of my business and invest in the future idea of us. And in exchange for that, they would get more credit than they paid for. So, for example, they pay me $35. I would give them $50 in credit, and they could use it immediately if they wanted to, or they could wait and they could end up using it for anything that they saw during the birthday bash. So basically, they were going to be stretching their dollar a lot further if they went ahead and they invested in it before the birthday bash would happen. So basically, they're giving me a little bit of money and they're getting a lot out of it. I personally feel like my audience that I've already got that have been with me for a while, they're much more likely to invest in something like that. I don't expect, Susan off the street to come in and be like, oh, cool, she's offering credit. I don't expect someone who doesn't really know me to buy it. So I put this on my website. This is a top banner. It was on all of my website during the credit sale. And this button just led them directly to the cart. There was no fancy sales page or anything like that. I used Thrivecart. It just sent them directly to that to choose what they wanted. They could buy it, and then I'd record it. This was across the entirety of my website. It would show it when people were on my page for more than 5 seconds. They'd see it one time per session for no more than a 3-time total. This frequency is standard with ConvertBox. You can certainly change it. You can even suppress it if suppress frequency if it's closed. But otherwise, this is what it comes with by default. I usually leave it that way a lot of times. It was included on all of the pages of my site because I didn't have any reason for it to not be, to be perfectly honest. And it was targeting all visitors. You can target specific visitors, which we will definitely get into more later in the debrief. But that's people like determining who does or doesn't have a certain tag in ConvertKit, for example, things like that. Or have they seen some other page, or have they not seen some other page? And then, of course, the launch, I had it set to certain dates and times that it would be on and off. It's currently inactive because I'm not doing a credit sale right now. But that's pretty much it. This happened, again, before the birthday bash. Second one that I had, and this one is also credit related, but it happened during the birthday bash as well. This is a bottom left-hand pop-up. It just sort of pops in from the bottom left-hand side of the page. This is just a simple, hey, are you ready to spend your hexagon bucks? That's what I call my credits. Click the magenta chat bubble and request to use your credits. This happened on a couple different pages. So you can see here it happened on my everything page and it happened on my birthday bash page. So this is my everything page. And basically it's a place where people go to see everything that I have for sale. Why is this taking so long? Thank you. It has everything that I have available for people to buy. And so it would pop up here in the bottom left-hand corner and they would know, hey, if there's anything on this page that you want, don't forget, if you have hexagon bucks to use, go ahead and message me. And they would click here on this magenta bubble in the bottom right-hand corner of the page. So that was basically happening when people were on the page for 25 seconds. I didn't want it popping up like immediately. I think that's a bit much. 25 seconds is a long time, but I also feel like people who are sitting on a page for a long time, which is quite common for me during like the birthday bash and on my everything page where people are scrolling and reading a whole lot. 25 seconds ends up being not all that long. I left it at the default frequency. It showed to everybody. And I had it's currently inactive, but like I did for a while have it turned on for the birthday bash. I've since turned it off. But this one's really important. This is what I started showing to people pretty early on. You've already seen it. This is a get birthday alerts way for people to sign up and actually get onto my email list, specifically so that they could get emailed by me every time one of the new deals was revealed and whenever the birthday bash started. This one was pretty key. I actually started sharing the birthday bash page before the event started so that people could get an idea that something was coming, that this was happening, and then they could sign up and get this. Now you may have noticed both this one and the one for hexagon bucks were both set to show up on this page. That's because if people actually came here and they used this this pop-up, they could close it, it would suppress it, it would go away. So for example, the display was shown to people after they were on the page for 5 seconds. It would show to visitors 1 time per session and a maximum of 3 times total. And then again, once they used it, it would just go away. So it can come in here to form settings, and whenever people close this ConvertBox, I told it to just stop showing it to the visitor. Like, just don't even show it anymore. It's not worth it. If people didn't want to get on my email list, then just don't show it anymore. No big deal. I love that about ConvertBox. I love that I have that much control over it, that if I just don't want people to see it anymore, it's perfectly fine. So if people didn't want to use it, that's fine. And then they would get the hexagon bucks one here in the bottom left-hand corner instead. So there was always a pop-up that was related to this page. It just depended on how people interacted with the page. There was a launch. I currently have it set to active, but I did have a start and end date time. I just have it turned on for the purpose of recording this. As you can see, I did get 70 leads. That's not a lot. But a lot of people were already on my email list anyway that were kind of like in my world. So I think 70 is pretty good, considering this was like a 7-day event and the people who joined, they didn't know me at all. So I thought that was pretty cool that I got 70 people to sign up. Now, this is one of my favorite ones that we're going to talk about, and this is called the You Found It. I really like bottom left-hand pop-ups. This one is what shows up on the different product pages every day during the birthday bash. So if somebody were, for example, I'm going to go ahead and close this. If someone were, for example, to come here and click on Amazon Unlocked to get information about it and get the deal, they would land on this page. This is its normal sales page so they could actually get information before they purchased it. And I did it that way in case somebody would land here and they'd see, oh snap, you found it. This special offer is part of my birthday bash. No coupon required. You're getting the best deal when you buy it before September 15th. I did that because there was a good chance people would land on this page who had never seen the birthday bash page before. Maybe they came from the everything page. Maybe they came from a really old email of mine, or an affiliate sent them here, whatever the reason may be. So I wanted a way to entice people to go check out the other birthday bash deals. And that's what this leads to. It actually leads them right back to the birthday bash page. So they would click it and it opens a new page, which leads them to the birthday bash. This worked pretty well, in my opinion. I thought it was really nice. It was displayed, and this is where things get kind of fun. It was displayed after 5 seconds, and I had to, every day of the birthday bash, I would come into ConvertBox and I would add a URL to it. So as each new deal was revealed, I'd have to come in here and add that page to the rules and tell it to show it on that page. Targeting was showed to everybody. And again, it's currently active because I'm showing it to you right now. There were some other ones that happened during the event, such as this one here called Digital Advent Calendar System. This is what the entire birthday bash is based off of. Again, it's a thing I teach. I wanted people to see that, hey, did you think this page was cool? And if you did, this was sort of a special bonus deal that I ran the entirety of the bash. So they had their normal 7 days worth of deals that they would get, but this one ran the entire time, and they would get this pop-up that says, how cool is this page? Learn how to organize your own when you buy my course. It's, normally $200, buy it today for $136. It was, I let them know when the special deal was going to end. They would click here and this button would take them to the actual sales page, and that had the same oh snap, you found it and everything that the other pages had. But what's cool about this one in particular, this one displays if they scroll the birthday bash page more than 94%. So they probably weren't going to get hit with it the first few times because they probably weren't scrolling the whole page. And then I would show it to them one time per session. So every time that they came to the page, but no more than 5 times total. So if they were coming to the page every day and they were actually scrolling the entirety of the page every day, they weren't going to get hit with it 7 times. They'd only get it 5 times in total, like ever. It was only on the birthday bash page. But here's where the targeting gets really fun. People on my email list who have already purchased the digital advent calendar system do not need to see a pop-up about it. That's just overkill and silly. So I targeted specific visitors. So there's some conditional rules that you can set. So for example, I chose set a conditional rule. Mine says, show it to people who do not have a ConvertKit tag. And this is the tag that they've purchased digital advent calendar system. So this lets you know, add conditional rules here that must be met for this ConvertBox to show to the visitor. If I know they don't have this tag, then it's okay to show it to them. And that's what it did. Again, I had a start and date time, everything. I've shut it all off. Now, there's a few different toppers that happened during the birthday bash. Let's talk about the birthday bash. I forget which one I want to look at first, but there's this one here called the birthday bash countdown timer. I realized pretty quickly, it was about a day in that I ended up adding this, but people didn't know when the deals would expire. So people were wondering, okay, there's all these deals. Do I have to buy that deal the day you show it to us, or do I have a certain amount of time after the birthday bash is over? So I let people know the birthday bash ends on September 15th. That way they knew when they had to buy things by. So there's a nice little countdown timer here. This exclusively displayed on the birthday bash page. And it would show after 0 seconds. So it was always there. It was always up at the top. They would see it a maximum of 3 times total. I didn't want to bombard people with it. I feel like too many pop-ups on a page, even if they are not really a pop-up, because I don't really consider this so much a pop-up. It's more like an info bar, but even still, like, I didn't need to bombard them with it every day. They just needed to get the information, and then after that, we were good. They didn't need it in their faces all the time. It only showed on the birthday bash page. It showed it to everybody, and then of course, I had a scheduled start and end time. Then there's the birthday bash is ending website wide topper. So this happened across the entirety of my website, excluding certain pages. So this just let people know birthday bash is ending. All the deals have been revealed. Get the special prices now. Here's your last chance to join the party. I did this on the very last day so that people knew, like, hey, all the deals have been posted. If you've been waiting, because some people are like that for whatever reason. Some people like to do things very last minute. And I definitely had people who waited until all of the deals were revealed to decide what they were going to buy. So it let people know everything's been revealed. Go look at it. Here's where things get really fun. It was on all pages of my website, excluding all of these, including the birthday bash page itself, all of the pages that were involved in the birthday bash, like all the products. So every day during the event, I had to come in and I had to come in and exclude things like all the time for some of these. Well, not this one. This was last minute, but there's another one where I had to come in every day and also exclude, just like I had to include on the other one. Targeting was for everyone. And again, it's inactive now, but I had to schedule the start end time. And then the birthday bash website wide topper. This one just let people know the birthday bash is happening right now. Get a special deal every day until my birthday. Display wise, again, this is the one I had to exclude everything on. So every day during the event, I would have to come in here and exclude pages to make sure that people weren't getting pop-ups that they didn't need on these pages. Like, nobody needed to come here to Amazon Unlocked and see this pop-up here in the bottom left-hand corner plus see this one. Like, if they're here, they know at this point that the birthday bash is happening. I really bothered them get this one so that they could get this bit of information versus some big banner at the top that didn't give them much info. So that's why I decided to do it that way. But there was a start and end time, and it went to everybody. That's it in terms of all of the pop-ups that I did during the birthday bash. This was a lot of fun to do. There's certainly lots of other different things I could have done. There's a lot of options to choose from. So for example, and I'll just throw this in birthday bash. There's everything from a sticky bar, which is sort of what you see in like those top info bars. There's call out modals, which is these. You can do left or right hand side. Then there is a center modal, which you saw with the digital advent calendar pop-up. And then there's a full page, which I'm not super a fan of. I think it gets in the way, but that's my opinion. You can also do embedded ones as well. So if I wanted to like embed some on certain blog posts, I could do that. Or like in my sidebar, but I typically use the overlay ones, to be perfectly honest. But if I wanted to come in here, there's so much you can do. And I really love that they give you a whole bunch of options to kind of start off with, or you can skip and build from scratch. Or like this one here, again, like they give you lots of things that you can start with. Or sticky bars are kind of, they are what they are. There's not a whole lot to them, but I think you get the idea that like I was able to kind of jazz it up and make it fit my own branding, or you can just build one from scratch. But yeah, that's it for the birthday bash. I did say I would talk about the Chatra thing. So I wanted people to get this bit of information, and this is Chatra. So they would like get this message saying, hi, you have Hexagon bucks to spend, blah, 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 blah. And it would pop up here exclusively on this page. So this is not ConvertBox, but I did want to talk about it because it does pop up on people. But this is Chatra. It's amazing as well. And it was just like making it so that people had a point of contact. It would ask them if they had Hexagon bucks to spend. And I really preferred this during the birthday bash rather than people emailing me, because this was a lot easier for me to keep track of than it was to keep track of all the messages that would happen in email, because it was just too much. It would have been a disaster. So I was really trying to focus on getting people to click that button or to talk to me there. But yeah, this is it for the debrief. I hope you enjoyed getting a look at all of my cute little pop-up boxes. I had a lot of fun with them. I think it was a lot of fun to kind of try to create a strategy around pop-ups and making sure people weren't getting too overwhelmed by them, while also making sure that I was supplying good information to them. And I really genuinely think that ConvertBox helped me do that. Versus I could have used Elementor pop-ups, but honestly, it would not have been as robust. I wouldn't have had anywhere near the amount of control, and I think it would have been a hot mess. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and please let me know if you decide to get ConvertBox, because if you do, I'm offering anyone who buys ConvertBox a $100 credit to use on anything in my business for the next year. All you have to do is, ironically, click on the magenta button in the bottom right-hand corner of my website, send me a message, let me know that you bought ConvertBox, and I will record a credit for you. So thank you so much for watching.